starting with Mikal Bridges on August 1st. Then, of course, Luka signed a 3-year, $165 million extension on Saturday. And finally, yesterday, De'Aaron Fox with a full 4-year max, $229 million with the Spurs. Amina Smith in for Malika Andrews. I'm joined by our cast of writers. We got David Dennis Jr., Ramona Shelburne, and Hall of Famer Mark Spears. And guys, thank God we are not writing the checks, okay? Because they're handing out money like it is absolutely nothing, but a lot more of that to come. So let's go and take a look. And here are some of the biggest names who are still eligible to sign extensions this summer. Starting in Houston, the Rockets made a big move getting Kevin Durant. However, he is in the final year of his current deal. They can offer up to 2 years, $118 million for that extension. So, David, how should the Rockets play this?
They should just pay the guy. It's Kevin Durant. He's still playing as well as he has been. You know, he said that he wants the next team to be his last team. I think he believes that. I think the Rockets factored that in when they traded for him. I think this is just going to happen. Yeah, and then you have Mikal Bridges also, not the only nick up for an extension. Karl Anthony Towns also eligible. Now he has 3 years left on his contract. However, could tag on 2 years for $145 million. Ramona, is this something that the Knicks should do?
I think they will do it at some point. The question is, what does it look like? Every single other guy in this core has taken just a little bit less, and that started with Jalen Brunson. This core went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They were just a little bit away from beating the Pacers, and so I think they want to lock up Karl Towns at some point. The question will be for how much, and does he give them any kind of discount?
Now, Ja Morant also has 3 years left on his deal in Memphis, Mark, and he can sign a 2-year extension. Should Memphis get something done now or just wait on this deal?
I feel like they're going to be patient. You know, it's been a tumultuous couple seasons, injury play, couple seasons for Ja Morant, and unfortunately, they probably feel like he needs to prove himself a little bit and show that, you know, the talent's not a problem, but the issues have been.
Yeah, let's welcome you guys here on ESPN right now. David Dennis Jr., Amina Smith, Ramona Shelburne, and Mark Spears here with you, talking about some big names in the NBA. But there's also one more name with some urgency. We got Trey Young in the final year of his deal with the Hawks. He's been extension eligible for about a month now, but no deal struck so far. And you have to imagine that he's looking very closely at his fellow point guard in De'Aaron Fox on the max deal he just signed as well. Trey dropped a revealing post earlier this week. And if you're following NFL news, you've probably seen Micah Parsons is in a contract dispute with the Cowboys.
He wrote a book.
Yeah, he wrote, exactly. He did write a book. Take a look at this reaction from Trey Young right here. Quote, "This is why you pay the man early. When someone will take less early to stay in a place he wanted to be forever, you do it. The price only goes up now. Get what you deserve, bro." Look, I know social media is almost like just telling. Whenever somebody retweets something or says something or quote tweets, you know there's some emotion there. What do the Hawks do with Trey Young?
Well, first thing is, if you're Trey Young, you got to be thankful you don't have to deal with Jerry Jones. So that's a good thing that you got in your favor. I mean, the Trey Young Hawks thing is really fascinating to me. I mean, this felt more tenuous a few months ago. The Hawks made the offseason moves with Porzingis and, Alexander Walker, and it felt like there really is some enthusiasm here. Because for me, with the way that this team looks, this is going to be a top 4 team in the East, and I think there are some Pacers potential for this year for this team in the playoff run. The question, if you're the Hawks, is Trey Young the guy? Can he be your Tyrese Halliburton with the size, with the defensive liabilities? Add in the fact that if you do give him this contract, you got some young guys who are going to be coming up that overlap with this contract. And then you have to think about what's the market for Trey Young if he goes out there? Is he going to get max money somewhere else? But on the other hand, you have to pay the tax of being the Hawks. This is the biggest star you've had in 35 years. Stars do not come to Atlanta. So then you have one who's already in your pocket. You may kind of want to pay the guy. And again, like I said, you have a potential to make a real playoff run. I don't think you want this contract thing hovering over this year as you're trying to coalesce around this star.
Yeah.
You know, Trey has done a lot to show that he's invested in the Hawks. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kennard, he convinced them to sign with the Hawks. Instead of going with the Jordan thing this summer, he came to Summer League, and he got to meet with, Bryson Graham, the new president, some of the other new front office guys. So there's a new front office in Atlanta that's trying to make decisions. But what I'm hearing now at this point, and you could tell by Trey's tweet, and I saw him during the finals, I think he's disappointed that it hasn't come. It hasn't been offered. So don't be surprised at this point that he plays this out. and sees what happened next summer. But to me, Trey has nothing to prove.
So, and here's the
He's a
overarching question here in the NBA is when they did the new CBA, they made it so that you could offer an extension earlier. And this is somewhat what led to De'Aaron Fox ended up being traded out of Sacramento. Sometimes, as one GM told me, sometimes you don't want to know the answer yet, right? He still has 2 years left on the 5-year extension he signed before, Trey.
Yeah.
So this is early, and as he sort of suggested with that, whether it's a subtweet or just reacting to Micah Parsons' notes comment to Jerry Jones, this is early, and when you do something early, sometimes guys are willing to take a little discount. But they've had an opportunity to do something early, and I think if you're the Hawks, you might want to see how this team plays it out right now before you commit all that money to Trey Young. You might want to see if these moves work out. You want to see how the young players grow together. But because the extension rules now have been changed to where you get the answer early, it's created a friction here.
Yeah,
but
I almost feel like you don't want that hanging over your head, though.
That's
I feel like that's a really good point. You don't want, especially if you're a star player, you don't want that issue hanging over your head for the whole season.
He's their new Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah.
He's the best, one of the best shooters in the league. I don't think he has anything to prove. But they're just new sheriffs in town that are trying to figure out what they want to do with this new young group.
Yeah, but you want to get this thing settled, I think, because, I mean, like I said, look at where the East is. Look at what the Hawks have done. If I'm Trey Young, I said, I've got you guys to Eastern Conference Finals. We can talk about all the stuff that happened and get us there, but I got you to Eastern Conference Finals, and it was just me. And now we have a team around me that I can finally get you guys maybe to, that we're excited about, that really has a shot. There's no Boston. There's no Pacers there. Let's just get this thing figured out, and trust me, from everything I've done, trust me to get us over that hump, because I can do it.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with that Trey Young situation this offseason and going into next season. It's just 24 hours since the Spurs inked the same max deal with De'Aaron Fox, so let's take a look back at their offseason. The Spurs have had one of the busiest offseasons in the league. They saw Greg Popovich step down as head coach with Mitch Johnson taking over full-time. Johnson coached the final 77 games last season for San Antonio. The Spurs made 2 lottery picks this year, taking Dylan Harper with the 2nd pick in the draft and Carter Bryant with pick 14. Both rookies showed some serious promise at Summer League in their first action after being picked. And San Antonio continued to get good news this summer as Victor Wembanyama was cleared to return to basketball activities. Wemby was shut down for the season in February due to a blood clot in his right shoulder. However, the 21-year-old is set to return this season. And then his all-star teammate, De'Aaron Fox, got his max extension on Monday. Fox inked a 4-year deal worth $229 million and keeps him in San Antonio through 2030. So Fox is 27 and firmly entering the prime of his career, and the Spurs hope to capitalize on that with this commitment. His new deal kicks in at the start of the 2026 season, and at that time, he'll be the 2nd highest average value in the league for any guard, only behind Steph Curry. So Ramona, there's been a lot of talk on social media between yesterday, this news coming out, and right now, whether or not De'Aaron Fox, not that he deserves the deal, but they should pay that much for him. What say you?
Listen, it's a percentage of the cap. So I know that all of us look at the numbers and we go, wow, that's a lot of money. But it's a percentage of the cap, just like it's always been a percentage of the cap. And I think when they made the trade for De'Aaron Fox, they always knew they were going to give him this deal. This is not a surprise. There was no debate within the Spurs of do we do this? Do we try to commit? No, you would make the trade because you're going to lock this guy up long term. Yet you happen to hit in the lottery and you have the number 2 pick and now you have Dylan Harper, and this years down the line, maybe there's a backlog of players. But that's your problem for years down the line, and it's a good problem to have. Because De'Aaron Fox is such a good player. If it becomes where he becomes too expensive, you got to start paying some of the young kids, and now you have to make a decision between some of those guys in the backcourt. Fine. He's still a great player. You would have plenty of trade value.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the part of this is the contract does not really overlap with when you're re-signing some of those young guys too. So you can see what you have. Part of this is we just don't know what this Wemby ceiling is. We don't know what a window for the Spurs. It could be now, right? And you can have a guy who can be a 2nd best player on a deep playoff run with Wemby because he's just that good. And now you have a guy you can win now with in De'Aaron Fox, and you have future talent. And, I mean, I just don't see really a downside to this. People see the sticker shock of the number and based on these other things. But when you're talking about the uniqueness of this team and what you're building around a star that can elevate your ceiling right now, I think you got to do it.
I think this situation brings the best out of Fox. He's coming to a place where he didn't play that many games in San Antonio, so I don't think the Spurs faithful has had a chance to fall in love with him yet.
Right.
So now all of a sudden he gets this contract, but They got one of the best point guards in the league, perhaps the quickest point guard in the league, who now is going to be motivated by this money, and he's going to be motivated by Castle and Harper being behind him.
Yeah.
So I think for Fox, this is the biggest year of his career. He got his money. There's no franchise drama. He has to get back to being an all-star player. There's nothing else he needs to worry about. His family is back in Texas.
Yeah.
You got to be an all-star this time, and I think that he could do that with that heat, that talented heat behind him, that young heat.
And I think with all this discourse, people are forgetting that De'Aaron Fox is a baller.
Yeah,
Are we forgetting that?
He's
Like,
a
lot of
all-star.
interest in him
I'm
when
just
Sacramento
saying.
was open.
Maybe moments from his 5 years in the NBA. Let's start with this one. Top ridiculousness. This crazy spin right here, spin cycle for the turnaround jumper versus the Pistons. I mean, what are we even talking about?
Pivot.
Look at this.
Tumble dry low right there.
Whoa, oh my gosh. Don't
bad
get dizzy
defense.
with the spin. And then what about this? The steal and running the three-pointer to beat the third quarter horn against the Bulls. This is just what Anthony Edwards does, though.
Presence of mind, knowing the time score situation.
I mean, come on. And then take a look at this. A nasty, hezzy. Oh, my gosh.
Ain't saving block.
Come on. That's against the Pacers in 2024, and you see him amped up right there. Top playground moments, the nasty, hezzy dribble right here. Michael Porter Jr. Oh, my God, just get out the way. Just get out the way. Oh, my gosh.
No two that better be there that aren't there yet.
Ooh, man. And then how about some superstar silencers? Here is Cooks AD on the perimeter, hits the jumper. Then in the 2024 playoffs also, with this one, still against Memphis. That one off the glass.
Two dunks I haven't seen yet.
Come on.
There's two dunks I haven't seen yet.
Oh, you still waiting for some. I got you. All right, so this one is a
Here's one of
superstar
them.
silencer.
No.
This one right here on AD.
Dave was there.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. You were there for that
Dave
one?
was there.
Went over the Lakers over the years.
Just a couple. And then look at the attitude. Look at the attitude right there also. And then how about this one? Oh my gosh. On KD.
On an idol. Idols become rivals.
Idols become rivals. That's exactly what they say. And then what about this one right
Dave
here?
was at this one too.
Woo! Dave, are you getting some flashbacks right now?
He has a highlight on both sides of the trade.
I was like, on both sides
matter
of the
to
trade.
him.
Exactly.
There
And
they
then
come.
this is the one you've been waiting for. On Jackson. Oh my
That's not it, though.
God.
There's two others.
Come on.
I love that he has so many highlights, though.
Dave was
I
at
know
this
the other
one,
ones
too.
before we get to the ones that
Look,
start.
right?
the Lakers,
And
right?
Mark was just waiting. Mark was just waiting for him. Is this the one you were waiting for?
No,
No, not the Kevon Looney?
Sent Kavan all the way to
There
New
you
Orleans
go.
on that
It's
one.
coming. I have faith in my guys.
Are you waiting on the producers to pull it
I
up?
have faith in them. Okay, here we go.
Is this the
Here
one you're
we
looking
go.
for?
There we go.
Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
it. That's it right there.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
There's one more
no. Don the Baptist.
My
during
goodness.
COVID that they better show.
You know what? They didn't show it. Mark was waiting for it. Mark was waiting for it. With Ant turning 24, here are some notable players who won their first MVP before turning 25, including Derrick Rose, the youngest player to win MVP in league history, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James also all won their first MVP before turning 25. We now bring in our reporter, Dave McMenamin, who covered the Wolves during their playoff run. And Dave, just how much more room does Anthony Edwards have to grow when you talk about his ceiling in the NBA?
Yeah, when I was covering this past playoffs, I spoke to his trainer and assistant coach, Chris Hines, and Chris told me that he worked on kind of teaching about the history of the game. That we know you can score, we know how great of an athlete you are, but watch these clips of Kobe. Watch these clips of Michael Jordan. See how they read the defense when they collapse on him late in the shot clock. And we saw it pay off in the playoffs. First round against the Lakers, Game 5, the clincher on the road. That's the hardest game to win. Beat a team on their home court to end their season. Double team comes late, finds Mike Conley in the corner. Conley cashes it. They move on to the next round. And you know, it's been a constant process for him, though.
Yeah.
In the regular season, there was a game in December in Golden State where he goes 0 for 6 in crunch time. He talks to his teammates afterwards. He says, "That's on me. I apologize. I got to be better." And he's trying to add the playmaking piece to the offensive repertoire. If he gets that, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Mark, I feel like there's so much more room
Yeah.
for Anthony Edwards to grow, even though we're seeing him do crazy things right now on the court.
Well, first they saved that guy from the Grizzlies because that was the nastiest one. I heard he's celebrating his birthday with his family.
Yeah.
So happy birthday to him. I do think he could be a victim of his age. And we saw that when they got eliminated. Mike Conley was crushed. And man's like, well, we'll be back there next year. You can't assume that you're going to get to the West Finals every year. You can't assume that you're going to have opportunity to smell the finals every year. I think for Ant, I need to see, we keep hearing these Jordan comparisons.
Yeah.
I need a Jordan-esque attitude. He is so talented, so gifted, shooting-wise, athleticism, but I think he needs a sense of urgency, a kill switch. Kill him.
I know it's Anthony Edwards, but we the ones sounding spoiled asking more from a dude who's 24 years old, who's been in the Western Conference Finals twice, who's beaten LeBron, who's beaten KD.
We need
beaten
more.
Luka,
I need more.
Who's done this.
I need more, because he could give more.
I will say this. There's one thing I would like to see from Anthony Edwards is I want him to get the indefensible shot, the shot that nobody can stop. I think what we saw against the Thunder, he was on 23 points, he had 16 points a game in second last game, 19 points in the last game. They really flustered him defensively, and he kind of relies on that three-point shot. He was only shooting 28% from three in that series. I want to see him do kind of what SGA does. SGA gets right to that spot that he wants, and he gets a shot that you can't defend, and he knows where those spots are. I want to see Anthony Edwards sort of get to those spots and make the defense have to figure out what to do with him, whether that's passing out of that spot or getting to the jumper. I want to see the one move, the signature move from Anthony Edwards that's not just dunking on somebody or shooting a three that you cannot defend anywhere on the court, and I think that's coming.
Yeah, no, I think it's coming as well. Anthony Edwards has that confidence, just like you said. He's like, you know what, I know we lost, but we'll be back. So the confidence is there, the ceiling is there also for him. All right, Ant has led the Wolves to the West Finals in each of the last 2 seasons, and he's been a scoring machine along the way. He's already the Wolves' all-time leader in playoff scoring and has the 8th most points by any player before turning 25. So Ant has a case for being the best player under the age of 25. So, DBJ, I hear you have a little ranking for us. Top 5 players that you would start a franchise with, and I feel like it might start a couple of arguments as well.
Okay, hey, I'm going to put my GM hat on. I want you guys to look at the list of players that we have. We have a bunch of big talent down here under the age of 25, and usually we do these lists. I know my guy Big Perk likes to start at 5 and build the drama up, but I'm going to start at number 1 because there's not a lot of drama at the top. I think we could all agree that number 1, Victor Wembanyama, you are building your franchise around this dude. If you have not won a Defensive Player of the Year yet, I'm sorry, you may not win another one for your career. This dude has these on lock, and when he starts winning MVPs, it is probably not going to stop for a very long time. If you are the Spurs, you are very happy with this guy, and you are anybody, you would want to build your franchise around this unicorn of a dude. This guy is somebody that at this current state of the way he plays, he could elevate you to a championship right now. We saw him last summer, right around this time, with France versus USA, as the maybe one of the best guys on the court. Next Olympics, he will be the best player no matter who we playing. So there's no drama there. I'm not sure if there's any drama really at number 2. Anthony Edwards, another guy who, like I said, 2 times in the Western Conference Finals as the best player on the team, beating LeBron, beating Luca, beating KD. This is a guy that looks Jordan-esque in the way that he plays and could be a Jordan-esque type of guy.
You got to get your glasses.
Wait, hold up now. Come on, Steve. You waiting on?
He's like, hold on now.
This is easy, right? We can agree.
I know this dude better be coming up.
Number 2. 3 and 4 is where the drama is. This was really tough for me to figure out. It was between your guy Banchero and Cade Cunningham. I was torn between. I'm gonna go leaning Banchero. It was close. I think these guys are neck and neck in terms of guys who are franchise player. Banchero is a guy we saw in the playoffs. Is when he plays the best. I think healthy last year, this Magic team could have made a lot more noise. He was suffering from injuries. Averaged 29 points against that Boston Celtics defense. Went neck and neck with Jason Tatum right there. I think Banchero is a guy this year, especially when we're looking at Orlando. I think they're a top 3 team in the East with him at the front. Now, the other guy I mentioned, Cade Cunningham. Guy had an all-NBA year last year. This guy went against the Knicks, learned a lot. I think he's going to be better this year, gets everybody involved, is an absolutely dynamic player. 3 and 4 are switchable. I think we can have those guys are right there. Now, I was torn between number 5. Number 5, Mobley could be in there. He's a great defender, could be the best player on that Cavs team. We're doing a little drama. I told you we're going to do a little drama.
Let's go down the list.
We got LaMelo Ball. J-Dub had 40 in the finals.
Yeah, with the
Maxey, Barnes, Wagner there. I'm going to go with somebody we have not seen yet, who I have faith in as a dude you can build your franchise around. We're going Cooper Flag. We're going Cooper Flag. I think this dude has franchise player written all over him. Already a good defender, already top athleticism. I love what I saw in the Summer League. The competitiveness, had a rough first game, came back with more than 30 points. Cooper Flag is the real deal. I know I skipped some people who've been in the league, but Cooper Flag as the number 1 option. I think you build a franchise around him. Dallas and Nico Harrison thinking they're lucky stars. They have this dude. He could already have playoff experience this year.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Perfect list.
Look,
Mark, you can put your glasses on. I know you were looking at
How are you feeling about this right now?
How old is SGA?
Over than 20.
Over 25. Over 25.
I'm just saying, we got 2
26.
champs down here. Like,
26.
aren't we discounting a champ?
right now. So J-Dub and Holmgren, they were close. The thing is, I'm not sure when they're going to have to be the best guy in their franchise. SGA.
Well, I don't know about Cooper either, though. When's he going to be the best guy in his franchise? He got.
I mean, Cooper Flag, yes, the X factor. We haven't seen him in like an NBA game yet, but I mean, I understand the logic,
There
though,
you go.
DJ. I understand the logic. So
You can go through the list. Go through them all. We got them
I
all.
ain't gonna fight you on it.
you good with it? You're fine.
You can call it perfect if you want. It's okay.
Why you call it
You can call it
perfect if you
perfect
want?
in your humble opinion.
I was with you till Kate.
Williams, Mobley.
You were with me
till
till
Kate. No,
Kate.
Kate.
Until Kate. I'm with you on Kate.
Okay.
I guess I'm with you till
Who might you put at 5, though?
Yeah,
Who might you put at 5, Dave?
I got to go with the champ. So
Okay.
give me Jalen Williams.
That makes sense.
You know,
that makes
part
sense.
of
So
the
not too bad. Maybe we give you like an A-.
Okay.
A-? You wanted an A+?
The constant question that Giannis has is, can I win a championship with this roster?
3 straight seasons here being eliminated in the first rounds.
He wants to win a second championship.
Throws him down. The Greek Freak is a Greek NBA champion.
It's a very tough decision for him. This is 12 years he spent there.
Yeah, 20 years, maybe might not be up the next career.
So you staying in Milwaukee? Probably. We'll see.
Giannis may not ever have to put on a Bucks jersey again to go down as the best player in Milwaukee's franchise history. With all due respect to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, take a look at just some of the categories that Giannis is the all-time Bucks leader in. Giannis is only on the brink of joining Kevin Garnett as the only players in league history to be the franchise record holder in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Like Kevin Garnett, Giannis seems like he genuinely wants to make things work out there in Milwaukee. However, unlike KG, he's already won a title. So, Mark, does Giannis have a path to win a second championship with Milwaukee as it stands right now?
No. This team is not good enough. They don't have the point guard needed to get to that championship level. Miles Turner is fantastic. Even with the East kind of being depleted from an injury standpoint, just overall talent, no. I could see this maybe second round at best.
Yeah, I mean, they've been second round at best for a little while here, but I think in all of those playoff series, they had key injuries, and I'm not willing to write them off yet. I don't think they're going to be favored over the Knicks or the Cavs or any other teams, and probably not even the Hawks or the Magic, right? But would it shock me if they popped up to the 3 seed? No, because they got that man right there, and as long as he still says that he wants to be in Milwaukee and he's on the team, I'm not picking against him. And I think guys like Kyle Kuzma, he's going to be better. He needs to learn how to space and get open for Giannis. It's hard to learn especially in the middle of the year, how to play with Giannis. He had to do that with LeBron. LeBron's a little different animal than playing with Giannis, right? But I think Miles Turner is a great addition, and especially in that East. Especially in the East where so many injuries are affecting
I don't know. That looks limited to
teams
me.
at the top of the.
But isn't he like the best two-way player in the game?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that
Every
supposed
year.
to mean something in your prime? Only a few years removed from a 50-point game in the clincher in the NBA Finals. If Giannis is who we all think he is, they should be in the conversation. I'm with Ramona on this one. And we saw Miami Heat get to the finals as the 8th seed a couple years ago. Obviously, the Pacers, no one had them go to the finals next year. Have some patience. Let this team come together, see what you have, and guess what? You don't have to win next year. You haven't won since 2021. You can look at the big picture and say, this might be a rocky period of my time with the franchise, but this will allow me then to someday retire having only played for the Bucks if you get through this period.
But see, that's the thing that I'm thinking about with Giannis, though. Does he want to wait that long to win another championship? Because it sounds like right now he's fine with maybe looking at somewhere else if Milwaukee's not able to win a championship.
They're Giannis and the Miracles now. Like, this was dating you. There was a movie called The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, where Julius Erving led this band of bandits to a title.
But where are you going to go where it's guaranteed? He just saw Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard just left the one place he'd ever known.
Okay, no, I agree with that.
And they didn't win, right? So it's not that easy to go somewhere else and expect to win.
Leave.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying.
And I also think they're not even going to listen to anybody right now. You call the Bucks right now and say, let's talk about Giannis, they're not going to take your call.
Right.
Because they don't listen to anybody on this unless Giannis comes to them and said, I want to be elsewhere. And he has not done that. Everything he has said all summer long has been showing that his heart is still in Milwaukee. It seems like he wants to give this another chance. Now, he's obviously evaluating. Shams has reported this at the beginning of the summer and at the end of the summer. And the fact that he's still evaluating at the end of the summer is something to me.
Yeah.
But
Dame wasn't replaced.
But think about anybody who trades for Giannis, or if this ever gets to that point, you're going to have to give up so much to get him. I mean, the return for a player like that would be astronomical.
Yeah, what's
to the point
number?
where what team would he even be joining?
Yeah.
That's my point.
That's the other thing, is finding out where he would go, where he would fit in terms of
what
like,
would be
who's willing
left
to give up. Exactly. Who's willing to give up those assets. Well, Giannis is across the Atlantic preparing for Eurobasket, and so is Luka Doncic, back overseas and getting ready for Slovenia's first prep game against Germany on Friday. So, Dave, what can you tell us about Luka's plans while he's playing for Slovenia?
Yeah, I spoke to a person in his camp yesterday, and she told me that, listen, he's going to be playing on Friday against Germany. It's an exhibition, though, and it's his first 5-on-5 basketball since late April. So you're not talking about a full minutes load for him. And then they play a couple days later in Germany. Most likely, Luka will not play in that game. He may accompany the team to Germany for the team building aspect and go on the trip, but you'll see him in Ljubljana playing on Friday against Germany, and it's a ramp-up process, right? He's got the new body, great, but he hasn't been playing basketball to get the new body, and so don't throw the full workload right away. But come the games that matter, you're going to see him playing full minutes.
And so Dave mentioned a new body. So what do you want to see from Luka in this new body?
Listen, he's really good at using his big body to create space. And so I want to see how skinny Luka plays. Like, there's less of him to throw the shoulder and to create space for his defenders. He has not relied on speed or athleticism to get by people. He's relied on positioning. So this is a great thing that he's in shape like this. This is great that he has gotten himself in to look like this, to put all the discipline in. But is it going to change his game a little bit? Is he going to be a little sprier on the defensive end of the court?
Yeah,
Can he bully guys like that? It's going to be interesting to see.
Ramona, what you said about the size, I was really intrigued by that. So I reached out to Anthony Randolph, basically Luka's old teammate for Real Madrid, who played with him his last season at Real Madrid when he was at this weight. And he pointed out to me, he's like, look, Eurobasket, the Spanish league is much more physical than it is in the NBA. And he was able to play at that weight and that size, that lighter size, and still be physical and implement his game. So according to Anthony Randolph, he thinks he's going to be just fine. And look at this picture. I wanted to show this picture from the draft. First time I saw Luka in person, and it just reminded me about, like, I don't think people realize, and Dave knows this, how big and tall he is. Even with his weight down, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's got broad shoulders, obviously lengthy arms, and he knows how to use the physical gifts. I mean, and sometimes the gifts are the size. And we saw that deceleration move he was so effective with, where he goes towards the lane, then kind of slows it down, bumps you with his body, gets you off balance, and then can finish with his leg. Will he still have that move? But guess what? If he doesn't have that move, he's going to have other things. Yeah. We know he always has different tricks to it.
Maybe it's more dunks, right?
Yeah, maybe because now he can get up a little bit higher.
Yeah, and clearly he didn't just lose weight. He lost weight and
gained muscle.
And he has 2 healthy calves now. You couldn't really dunk with a calf strain last season.
He's going to be a problem.
Yeah, no, I'm really interested, Ramona, in just seeing how he does play, just being a little bit more slimmed down, more of an athletic build out there on the floor. Just how much of a
Is he going to be crossing guys up now, Dave?
You know what?
He does cross guys up. It's usually to cross them up and take a step back.
Right.
Will he cross them up and go towards the cup is the question,
Yeah, no, I'm interested to see how that shakes out for Luka Doncic this season in terms of just his new body and him being able to move around just a little bit more, maybe on the defensive end. Maybe we'll see that, Dave.
I mean, JJ Redick, your
lips says here.
He's very happy right now to hear that,
Named the new GM of Weaver State men's basketball. Dame played 4 years for the Wildcats. Mark, Chauncey Billups already said he's going to make Dame the most expensive assistant coach in the NBA history while he's rehabbing that Achilles injury. How busy will he actually be?
Well, I mean, if he's trying to get players to Weber State, he's going to be real, real busy. He's going to have to dig in his pocket and just playing Dame. Dame knows all these guys from Oakland. If he just recruits Oakland, he got one player from Oakland to go to Weber already. I think that's his waters.
All right, from Weber State to Philly, where Joel Embiid caught a Phillies game over the weekend. Dave, we know your Phillies are first in the NL East. But Ramona, what can we expect from their superstar on the hardwood this season?
Oh, well, he looks okay there. And let's see if he is ready for training camp. You hear a lot of things out of Philly, but it's when we see him in person, when we see him in camp, and let's see how he's recovered from that offseason knee surgery.
It was just the way you started it. You was like, that said everything.
DVD.
Right, exactly. That said everything that you needed to say. Sticking with the Phillies, they acquired a new closer, Yohan Durant, whose nickname is Durantula, who also came along, with the trade, with his entrance music from the Twins, DDJ. How much of a miss was it for KD not to lean into the servant nickname as opposed to Durantula here?
Not going with Durantula is a miss. The biggest miss is Slim Reaper. How did you leave Slim Reaper on the table? It was the perfect nickname for Kevin Durant. There's so many possibilities. I think Slim Reaper should live on. Luka just lost all the way. Let's give Luka Slim Reaper now. And just give it to him.
That's low-cal Doncic.
I just like the Don for Luca. The Don. I like it. A little mafioso.
Okay, you know what? So now that we're all thinking about nicknames in the NBA, let's go to some of our favorite nicknames. I'll start with you, Mark. Which one do you like?
Y'all tripping, because this is just genius. Grand Theft Alvarado. My guy with the Pelicans.
Yeah.
The way he gets behind people and hides and steals. He's been doing that since Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that nickname, I mean, watch this. Look how he just comes. Yeah, come on.
Oh, hey.
Whoever came up with this nickname in New Orleans, really creative out there. Genius. Grand Theft Alvarado.
Grand Theft Alvarado is actually a good one.
It's a lot to say, though.
It is. It's a mouthful. You know, when you do nicknames, it's supposed to be, I feel like,
one word.
To the point. What you got?
All right, I'm a dad. I love dad jokes, and I love the puns. Great Barrier Thief.
Great.
You can't go wrong with Great Barrier Thief.
That's
Dyson Daniels, that's
it's a little bit long, but it's just still Dyson Daniels, just the defense that he provides, the name, the location, everything just works perfectly. It's not really doesn't have that Atlanta flavor, but we're working on that. He's Australian.
We gotta add some lemon pepper.
We gotta add some little lemon pepper
lemon
there. But right now, Great Barrier Thief is just such an incredible nickname.
Okay, that is a good one. A little bit long, but Ramona, what you got?
Guys, there is only one perfect nickname in the NBA, and it was given to this man by Mike Miller. People don't know the background of the Joker nickname. He couldn't say Jokic, so he called him Joker. And it's perfect. It's the way he plays. The Nuggets lean into that introduction every time. He's leaned into it. He's worn the seat. He's unpredictable.
This was actually great. I love that he did this.
To the point where, sometimes I just call him Joker. You forget that Jokic is his name because Joker is so perfect. He makes shots like that, the Sombor sling, out of nowhere, the behind the back. Come on. That's the best nickname.
I love it, and I love that he actually leaned into it and showed up in a whole Joker outfit.
And his brothers are like real-life Batman henchmen, so I think...
Wait a minute. You know what? You are right. I'm not going to lie. I went with the Slim Reaper with Kevin Durant because, that's just the best one.
It was perfect.
Between Slim Reaper, also Easy Money Sniper, you can't go wrong.
He got a bunch of nicknames.
And he picked the worst one, the servant. What are we doing?
He did pick the worst one. I mean, come on. This is what Kevin Durant does. This is why he's a Slim Reaper, Easy Money Sniper. Anything that you want to call him, absolutely, he's able to do it out there on the court. But give me Slim Reaper every single time. That's going to be my favorite one. Dave, what you got?
So, Ramona, I'm surprised you didn't go with this one because he was one of your subjects of a story you wrote in the playoffs, a great read. Torture Chamber.
That's great.
I love it. Yeah. His nickname is like onomatopoeia. It tells you what he's doing to you defensively.
That's right.
He's going to torture you out on the perimeter. He's going to make it the longest night of your life, I should say, where you're out there on the court.
Yeah.
He's got that incredible physicality, knows the angles. It's a perfect nickname.
It is a perfect name. And he also kind of leans into it on social media, too. He's actually a very nice guy off the court. So he doesn't call it the torture chamber. He just calls it the chamber.
Oh.
Which is even better.
That's
So humble,
That's
so
almost
humble.
like even scarier.
You go by the champ now.
But we have also mentioned Luka Doncic earlier playing in the 2025 Eurobasket. The field is deep with NBA talent at the top. Of course, Jokic, Giannis is in there as well. Luka, but basketball is truly a global game now. Other all-stars include Şengün, Porzingis, Lauri Markkanen, and so many familiar names that will be in action in this tournament. And we were talking.
Dennis Schroeder playing for Germany again.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier, Dave. I mean, the fact that these guys, they love playing for their country, and they're going to go full throttle.
And I love guys like Dennis Schroeder, right?
Yep.
He's a role player in the NBA, but for Germany, he's a star. I like Zachary Richichet. I want to see him go back with the confidence of NBA experience and be the star for his home country.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Every time I see them out there playing for their country, it's like a different fuel that they come out there with, especially when I've seen like Luka play and everybody. I'm